something
You
called
can
body
do that to
slides too.
somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're in the
Dude,
wrong
yeah. Oh
country.
my God. I knew Canada was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
I want to,
fun. We're very fun.
it sounds like a lot of fucking fun.
Welcome to season 2 of Muse on the Mic. I'm Riley.
Yay! And I'm Emily. I'm so glad you guys are here again. Welcome to season 2. This is awesome to be jumping into a second season.
I know.
Riley, this is the best.
It is. Thank you guys so much for coming on this journey with us. We're into season 2. We have so many fun episodes planned for you guys, including today's.
Absolutely. And like she said, thank you for always tuning in every week, for subscribing to the channels, so Patreon, following us on social media and all the nonsense we get up to over there, answering our polls, joining in the comments, the chats, and the DMs. We've just loved all the support. I'm super pumped for today's episode. We are doing something bold and different.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's our first guest on the show. We do have a lineup of guests this season, but number one, we're starting today with the co-host of the Hard and Soft show, Tahoe himself. It's going to be wild.
Yay! I'm so excited. These boys are awesome. They're spicy. They're super comfortable with all of the things that is really our daily lives.
Mhm.
And then some. There are some episodes I've watched of their show where I'm like, wow, y'all are a little more rebellious than even me.
Oh, they are. They absolutely are. It makes me think like we got to step it up for season 2.
We're gonna have to dig in deeper. We're gonna have to get dirtier and more raw and rougher and just pull more curtains back and expose the behind the scenes of everything sexy in our lives. I think it's
Absolutely.
gonna be awesome, and I'm so pumped for this chat. We're going to show a little bit of one of his clips from his show, specifically about massage. We're going to show our reaction to his clip on our DATY episode. For those not in the know, DATY means going down on a girl in our industry, and our industry is full of it. And he had a little clip from the Hard and Soft show that was super sexy. So we're gonna pull all that together, chat with Tahoe, and see what dirtiness comes out of this episode.
I am so excited.
I'm so excited. Let's bring him in. Welcome to the show, Tahoe. We're so glad to have you.
Hey, ladies, how y'all doing? Y'all are, oh my goodness, it's my pleasure. I'll say that. It's my pleasure.
Well, thank you
Ours
for
as
being
well.
here.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
So we wanted to chat with you about all kinds of sexy things about massage parlors mostly because that's our world, but a little bit about your world too because as Riley mentioned earlier, we've been binging your stuff.
thank you.
Specifically last night and this morning we watched your most recent Hard or Soft episode.
Which
And
was,
I'm gonna throw one at you with an answer to a question.
okay.
You guys were asking, how do you know when a woman likes to be choked? And
Yes.
Ooh.
none of you had an answer. I'm sitting here
Well,
like, I know.
so let me explain. Let me explain where this came from, right? I'm having sex with a woman. It was great. We go onto the floor. Boom, we knocking it down, right? So the energy is there. I grab my hand, I push her head to the floor because I like this particular porn where a guy, he does that and he's just like going at it with her anal, he's just going at it. And she like stopped and was like, yo, no, no, that's triggering. That's triggering. Stop,
Oh,
don't. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, right? But she was like, no, but keep going. So it was it was a moment for me where I was like, yo, you really don't know what people have been through and women that have gone through so much, right? In y'all life growing up,
mm,
weird uncles and stuff like that being what they may, or people in the street trying to talk to you. You never really know what's going to trigger. So
right.
when do you have that kind of convo? But please let me know. What do you think?
Well, I think head pushing into like a pillow where you can't breathe might be a little bit different. But if it's more like just around the throat, I think a guaranteed sign and signal, no matter what kind of scene you're participating in, is we lift our chin. We give
Mm,
that like primal permission because
mm,
otherwise, like you cover your chest, your throat, your face, like
yeah,
as defense mechanisms. Whereas if you're like touching all the things, your hand goes here, we cock right
yeah,
back. We
yeah.
let it in.
Yeah. I mean, you got to really know how to choke though, too, right? Because
Hmm.
when I
There's a
was
fine line.
learning, I'm like up against the thing, and she's like, and then so it was taught to me that you're actually pressing here, not
Yeah,
here. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's so once I learned that, it's a learning this, learning sex and learning the woman's body, it's literally an everyday thing. It's not something that you could just read a book and you're good because it's an every partner thing because
Yeah.
hmm
everybody's different. So what you could have done with somebody else, the next person be like, don't do it, and it's weird. Whereas the next person be like, bring it on,
Yeah.
give me all of it. So
it's very true.
It's a
it's a
journey.
journey.
It's, it
It's a
is. You
journey.
should
I
be
said the
learning.
same thing. Yeah,
Yeah, you should be learning as you go, for sure.
yeah,
I mean,
I
there's
am. I
most of
am.
the things I like now I didn't like when I was younger.
Isn't
True.
that
Like
funny?
most. Yeah, like you grow into different phases and then those kind of expand too. I feel the same with like fetish clients and stuff. Like you start off saying you like feet, but before you know it, we're well into something else. And
Yeah,
it
Right.
just it
yeah,
should expand though. Otherwise, you're kind of eliminating a whole growth process of a huge chunk of life, right? Like if you're supposed to physically grow, mentally grow, spiritually grow, why can't we sexually grow too?
yeah,
I just think
yeah.
it should be
Agreed.
normal.
If you're growing, right? If the things
Mhm.
if it's changing, how does it change? If you're so against it one day and then you wind up liking it another day, is it like a seed that was planted or something like that? Like, how does it
I
change?
think a lot of it has to, or at least, from a personal aspect, I think it's growing in a partnership. And that doesn't have to be a relationship, but someone you're consistently intimate with, that there's growth and boundaries can be pushed. That, with one night stand, maybe that's not something I'd be interested in, but someone who's really taken the time to build that trust, they're all in.
Right, right.
So the growth. How do we grow
The
sexually?
growth.
Why do we grow? I think taboos become less taboo the more we hear about it. Like, I
Mhm.
think the choking thing is such a good example, or eating pussy. Like, back in, I think we're a few years younger than you, but still in that Gen X era.
Mm,
Eating pussy wasn't cool when I was in high school. I mean, dudes still did it, but they didn't talk about it or admit it.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
it's everywhere,
yeah,
right? So it's so
yeah,
much more less taboo. Now men know how many women like being choked. I mean, I figured that out in college. For lots of
yeah,
people, it's new.
yeah. I
And
mean, I'm
I'm
telling you
like,
right
okay,
now,
y'all are catching up. But the more it's in, songs, pop culture, shit we see on social media, next thing you know, everyone's doing it. Golden showers is
it's,
next. I guarantee it.
um,
Really?
uh, I did it. That's I don't get what people get from it though. It's
Oh,
like this girl, she was like, "Yo, I want you to pee on me. I want you to own me. I want you to pee in my mouth. I want you to pee in my butt." Like not in, but
yeah.
like in between the cheeks.
Yep.
And I was like, that's some wild shit to think about when you're at home by yourself. You just like want somebody to like, how
It's
did you get there? Not that
it's
I'm not with it.
dominance.
I'm super with it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's very interesting.
I
Shoot,
totally
I'm
feel,
a fan of holding it.
yeah. I totally feel it comes from craving dominance. She wants a dominant partner and she wants to be put in that submissive role.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely wanted me to put a collar on her. She wanted all of those things. And I think that it's so funny that I've never had a submissive before per se. I've been a dominant
Mm.
person, I believe, my whole life, but never had a submissive person per se. And she was like, I think it's just your energy as a person. It's just making me want to be submissive to you. And she was big in that. She actually had a dom at the time. And she was like, honestly, I'm more submissive to you than I am to him. She
Wow.
was like, it's just something about the way you are with me. Um, it just makes me feel like melting and doing whatever you want. You
By
know,
the sounds of it, it sounds organic as opposed to
yeah,
like the pro dom stance, right? Like I
yeah.
have extreme submissive goals and desires in my life, but I don't know if I'd want to do a pros. I mean, first of all, we work in the industry, right? Like we are
Hmm.
owners of a company in the adult biz. So I'm not paying anyone for any fucking services. It's not
Hmm.
happening.
Hmm.
Right.
I've gotten paid in my years. That's plenty. But I wouldn't want like almost the formality of it, like the structure, like the order of operations and stuff. I'd rather it just naturally
Be,
happen in a
be
weird
natural.
50 Shades of whatever kind of
It's so
experience where it
different.
just comes about
Excuse me, if
personally.
I may say so, right? You said something to me that just made me. Women and men are so different, especially the way we exist in this sex world, right? You saying like, "Yo, I'm not paying for anything." I kind of feel like I have to. I kind of feel
Mm,
like I have to contribute to this space because of what men have done to women and to y'all psyche and to y'all bodies and even to content. It's like, yo, men have kind of, for lack of the word, the R word, the game. We've done it to
mm,
women throughout. And so now the reason I do my show and I try to get men to understand what respect for women is kind of like a give back. So like I pay for
mm.
content. You know what I mean? I pay for that just so that I can say I'm contributing to the space based off the history of what men have done. And so when I hear it from you, I'm like, okay, I get that. I get that. You've been men taking advantage of everything. Like, you know what? I'm going to get mine's back. But I exist on a different part of that spectrum where I feel like
For sure.
it's up to me to pour back into it. So it's just interesting how men and women are different. It's crazy.
I totally agree with that. I think there are times I mean we've done like industry parties at strip clubs and stuff, and the
Mm-hmm.
name of the game is support the ladies while we're there. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna make some single moms real happy tonight because
Mm-hmm.
I know why they're
Exactly.
here, and we're gonna
Exactly.
do all that. For me personally, I worked in massage parlors for 8 years before retiring and then us opening our own parlor. So I wouldn't want to do stuff that I used to get paid for in my job. Like if I
Mm.
was a chef, I don't know if I'd want to come home and cook dinner,
Mm. Yeah.
let alone
Tell me
have to
about it.
buy that position. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want to do it. And it would just like fuck with my head to do. But I'm all for supporting babes. There are
Yeah.
definitely some women in the industry I fully support financially. Not fully support, but I with
Yeah.
all my
Yeah. I
heart
get what you
support
mean.
and do when they're up to something. We have some actually former girls that are independent escorts that do charity things at Christmas and stuff. We'll donate to all that kind of shit, like the feel good
Mm.
stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Well, I see
based
women
on our
support women
position
all
in
the
the
time.
world, it makes sense to come at it that way. Whereas I'd never pay like massage TikTok guy. To me, that's fucked up because that's what my staff do, and they make 170 bucks an hour to get that done to them. So why
Right.
would they pay money for that?
Yeah.
That's
Right.
what clients do
Right.
already.
I ain't
It's
gonna lie.
weird.
I'm a garbage man by day. That's what I do for, my day job. And coming home and having to take out the garbage, I'll be like, ah.
True. Good point.
Like, I've been doing this all goddamn day.
I
But
didn't
it
I
is
didn't
what it is.
realize you had a day job or if the Hard and Soft show was like your full-time gig. But I do
Yeah.
want to know, like, how did the whole pod start? What's the origin story of it?
COVID, man. Wasn't everybody
Okay.
just
Mm.
super horny during COVID?
Yeah.
My original co-host, so I have another show where we were going on tour a lot, and I hired somebody to help us be our tour manager. COVID hit, and everybody was locked in the house. I gave him a sex toy for a Christmas gift. But it's because I had a sponsor that gave us sex toys. It wasn't like I went out and was like, yo, I'm gonna give this guy
Yep.
this fucking, cock ring. You
That's
know what I
us
mean?
too.
Like it was like a flashlight. It was one of those flashlight joints. So I just had it and I had spent so much money on the whole team. I was like, yo, I want to give him something too. So I wrapped it up. I knew he was super horny and I gave it to him.
Mhm.
I opened up Instagram Live, and I don't know if y'all remember the Instagram Live during COVID was insane. People was just doing whatever. So horny. This guy is on there. So I go to his live. He's on there. First thing I see is his chest, but he's always shirtless. So I'm like, yo, this guy, he's just showing off, whatever. And
Yeah.
then I see the flashlight. I see the thing. And then I see it moving in and out on Instagram Live. And I'm like,
Wow.
no, this is not jerking
Shit.
off on
I was on the live
fucking.
once. I was on the wrong lives. I'm watching Versus during the pandemic. This guy's
I
beating
was
off.
like, yo, I was appalled. I was appalled. I was like, what have
That's
I done?
wild.
What have I started? But the hearts on the right side of the page, like,
Wow.
and the comments were like, bing, 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 all women.
Yeah.
And I'm a businessman. I sat back after that live and I was like, they like that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And I was like, what would be interesting? Being that he's very horny and I'm very horny, but he's just way more open than me. Like, I'm not
Mm.
that open, right? And so the idea was for somebody to kind of like, that was really into sex, talk to another man that kind of was, but wasn't,
Right.
and in an educational way. You know what I'm saying? It was like, men don't really talk about sex. We don't really talk to each other like that about sex. Like, we don't. We like, yo, I hit. I fuck shit out shorty. Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, she sucked mad dick. That's it. You know what I mean? We don't talk about things like, yo, my dick ain't work last night. We
Right.
don't talk about like not how we feel not being able to get a woman to come orally. You know what I mean? Or sex toys. We don't talk about, do we use sex toys? You know what I mean? Or the proper way to do it.
Mhm.
So yeah, COVID started something that was really great. I'm just super proud of it. Yeah.
That's
Well,
awesome.
hats
You've
off
built
to
something
you.
fabulous.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you.
we're
Thank you.
fans. We're definitely
But
fans. I
am
I
I'm
agree.
your first here? I'm your first
You're our
guest?
first
Male guest?
guest.
First guest
Any
ever?
Yeah.
guest ever. It's usually just the two of us.
And is first a thing for y'all? Do y'all like firsts? Because I'm not big with first. Like, I don't want any virgins. I don't want to be
Mm,
too many people's first. I'm happy to be y'all first. By the way, as a
Thank
unit,
you.
this is like a FMF. I'm here for it. I like it.
right.
But do y'all like first? Like, would y'all take a guy's virginity?
Why
No,
don't you take that one first?
no, no. It would be a hard no for me. It's just, yeah. I mean, you know what? I don't like, or I don't mind being a teacher at times, but I think that's too new. It's too fresh for me.
Yeah, yeah.
See, I don't like being a teacher at all. That's the
No, you
submissive
don't.
side that has desires. I don't want to fucking instruct. I do that every day already. I
Right.
teach workshops. We train our staff. We deal with instruction all day long. I don't want to teach. But at the same time, there's a difference between like a virgin as like the first, in which case I don't want to be his first. But
Mm,
as you grow and progress and try new things, there's always a first time for all these
Yeah.
mm,
different things. And
right.
I'm a big believer that you should try everything twice because the
Mm,
first time is just bumpy. It's just bad.
mm.
So don't write it off till you tried it twice. So
I
first
like the
always
way you
sucks.
did that. That was
Hey,
good. That was
thanks.
really good. I like the way you did that. Um,
It's true though. And most first,
firsts.
like I
Yeah,
think
I'm
back,
good
I'm
with a
like,
couple
ooh, that was
firsts.
terrible.
Yeah.
I'm good with a couple firsts. I'll do a couple firsts. But if I don't like it, I don't want to, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Two, I think the first time, like, that wasn't that cool.
It depends what it is. I think it depends what it is, totally. But at the same time, some things require like anal. Like you're not gonna have the big kaboom the first time. You have to kind of work your way in there. But you know that going in and you gotta be patient.
Going in is
Give
crazy.
everybody some time to get adjusted. Just depends.
Get adjusted. Yo, are these double entendres? Are you doing these on purpose? Because you did
All the time.
going in, then you said getting adjusted, and we're talking about anal. I'm like, yo, she knows what she's doing with this. Like,
100%.
you're really good with these double entendres. But yeah, anal's dope. It's cool. I like it. I'm not really big on the submissive part of pegging. I
Mm,
don't have anything against pegging. It's just me tooting it. I'm not really big on tooting. Uh, I would do it with my partner if that was her thing.
Okay.
right.
I would try it. I would try it with my partner if that was her thing. Now though, because we've been together for 5 years and we've
Right.
done
Beautiful.
all of this together, you know what I mean? So it's like, yo, if she really wanted to try it, I'd be like, all right, I mean, whatever. But it's not something that I think is at that's not where my creativity goes when it comes to sex. It's like, yeah, I don't want to tooting it up and be like, go, be gentle. No. Nah, I'm good. She putting like the
It's got
lube in
client
there, like, yo,
flashbacks.
here. Yeah, she's like trying to get it wet and shit like that. Like, nah, I'm good. So y'all, where's your massage parlor at? Where's it? Where you guys located?
We're in Toronto, Canada.
Oh, six,
Yes.
six.
Yes.
Six. Yes.
That's fire.
Drake
So do y'all
Central.
do everything there? Everything. So tell me about the massage. I want to hear. I'm sorry. I know your fans know about it, but
So we
I'm
we
not.
are a licensed and legal body rub parlor. So we are licensed and allowed to do what we do. All of our staff are licensed. There's 25 legal parlors in the city of Toronto. There is a lot that are not legal, but we are one of the 25 that are. We provide all service up until full service. So full stop at sex. So it's really sensual, erotic, a lot of massaging, touching, foreplay, mutual pleasure. It's amazing. It's tons of fun.
Mutual pleasure.
Yeah.
Oral,
Let's.
making out, going down on each other, all the things. Something
You
called
can
body
do that to
slides too.
somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're in the
Do
wrong
ya? Oh
country.
my God. I knew Canada was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
I want to,
fun. We're very fun.
it sounds like a lot of fucking fun. Oh my
We're
God.
sex friendly, we're weed friendly, we're friendly in general. We're just known to be friendly too, but it's yeah, just like a strip club's allowed to be a strip club, we're allowed to be a rub and tug. It's kind of cool
So
actually.
when I went to, where was this? I think Temptations. The first time I went to Temptations, we hired like the couple's sensual massage. They
Hmm.
made us have sex in there. They
Interesting.
literally took my shit and put it inside of her and were like pushing me into it. And like, oh, y'all want me to fuck? Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're rubbing all over me while I'm having sex with her. And I'm like, yo, this was an experience. But I would have much rather like her come and join. Like, yo, come here. But y'all said no full
Mm.
sex. So
You know what? We do couple sessions, and when the couple sessions are in full play, our couples are wild most of the time.
mm,
They definitely do the inserting and the pushing. The couple can
mm,
fuck. The couple can fuck all
yes.
day. No, nobody cares. It's the attendant won't. But I also would put a little asterisk with the couple sessions because first of all, I wouldn't know if the girl decided to fuck a couple. But I think if all the couples you're gonna break or all the sessions you're gonna break a rule with, couple sessions is the one that I would choose, to be honest.
Right.
Like y'all are fun. Let's just do this.
Yeah, let's just say, you know what? Oh my
Yeah,
God. What a
it's
life.
interesting. Yeah,
What
it's
a
super
life,
interesting.
man.
And you know what?
I'm
All of
so
the
sad I
parlors here
can't
are
come to
also
Canada.
owned by men. Some of them are operated by women, but they're owned by men. We're the only ones that are
Mm.
exclusively female owned. So it's a very nasty competitive industry on the back end, and super sexy on the front end. It's an interesting life that we have, that's for sure.
Well, guess what? You now have my whatever you need from me. If I can help promote y'all, if we do some Patreon content on mine and get you out there to some people that travel into Canada or any of our Canadian listeners, I'd love to help boost y'all and support y'all, man.
That's
So
That would be
awesome.
wonderful.
whatever y'all
We're
need,
actually
let me
coming up on
know.
our 15-year anniversary at the beginning of June. So we'll send you some stuff to promote that because there's like a party and all kinds of
Let's
fun gonna
do it.
happen.
And come to New York, come be on the show. Come to New York, come
We'd
be on the
love
show
to.
one day. Like we're right there, right? Toronto is not that far from New York. It's a hop, skip, and a jump.
I've
Quick
never been
trip.
to New
Pull
York.
up.
I would love to.
Yes, I'd love to have you. All right, so what do
I
y'all
would
got
love
for me
it.
today? What are we doing?
So we first connected. I was tweeting. I'm the one that does the tweets, and it was a clip from your show that we had reacted to.
Mm,
Our episode was the DATY episode, which in our industry means dining at the Y, going down on a girl, eating pussy, and you
mm,
were talking about 69s. So we're gonna watch
hmm.
that little clip, and we're gonna talk about 69s afterwards.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. I think this is going to be so like on the nose to a bit of a follow-up of a previous Patreon episode we just did about mileage, which is what you can get in an erotic massage session in Toronto, Canada, and most places in the world in terms of rub and tugs and happy ending parlors. Um, and it really kind of touches on the differences in trends between industry trends and then like society as a whole. So I think this one's super fun and interesting. I can't wait for the people to see it and for us to react. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's do it.
I personally like 69ing.
No, you don't. 69 is some you do to tweet about.
When I'm getting that, and it's amazing that you hearing that gut, you hearing all of the wetness, all of that. When it sounds like it's macaroni and cheese, that all that, bro. I need to inhale this woman. I need that on my face.
You need the, oh yeah.
I
You said
need
inhale?
you. I need to inhale this woman. I need you on my face. I'm not thinking about me no more. It's a us thing. I might not be giving the best head because we're getting action. I might not. But the fact that I have you in my mouth, I need that because you giving me some shit right now and I want to give it back. I need it. Come here.
On your zap. I need it.
Come
I
here.
need it.
And I'm telling you, I swear to God, breath ain't enough.
You want to be smothered.
I need that pussy on my fucking face.
God.
It's still just as hot as the last time I saw
I
it.
was gonna say, I remember the first time being like, wow.
Yeah. It's the
And
way you
all over
describe
again.
it, Tahoe.
Well done.
Like you had me at inhale. Sold.
It's hard for me to watch that clip and not visualize those moments. And for one, I got a lot of pushback on that. A lot of people like,
Really?
oh, you can't really enjoy it. And I was like, some things, sometimes you don't have to be so focused on getting your shit off. Like sometimes it's okay to just enjoy the experience for what it is. Y'all got time. Unless this,
Mm-hmm.
you got work or unless somebody's wife is coming home. Like, you know, enjoy this for what it is. And what I felt in that moment is having her legs around me and just pulling it in and just like going at
Pressure.
it. And she's
Mm.
going at it. You know what I mean? And even if you go on the side, you can flip around. It can be, and you could take a break. If she's going in, take your second to enjoy it. Like, oh, fuck, like, fuck. And then it's your turn. You know what I mean? Do your big one. And it isn't for me everything. And I've learned this, I swear. And this is like life changing for me is to stop worrying about getting my nut off. Stop worrying
Mm.
about everything I do having to lead to a nut, which allowed me to kind of take more pleasure
Yes.
out of using toys and eating pussy and massaging. The more time in between the more time before penetration makes the sex so much better for her and
100%.
for something that serves my ego. Making her feel good serves my ego. I walk around there like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? This is my house. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love that. I
You
love
know,
And
that. That's maturity.
it
it
is
is. And
maturity.
I
Sexual
think
maturity.
men get off on pleasing women, right? And we see it in the massage parlor. It's surprising. And I'm not sure if you know this bit about our industry, but I mean, the guy's coming in to be serviced, to get off and paying for it. But each and every session that these girls go into, he wants to get her off. It is part of the journey together. And that part for him, I think, is absolutely necessary to get him to that point. Men take pleasure in giving and turning their partner on. So I totally get that.
Exactly. And you know, I think so many women have had the experience of not orgasming or not getting there that they're like, well, that takes my mind off of it. That's I'm not able to concentrate on what he's doing. And
It's true.
I'm like, bro, I'm saying I get that, but learn to kind of let that go. Get out your head. Because a lot of times y'all could trick yourselves away from orgasming too. So
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like enjoy where we are right now. If you can do that, then there's a whole list of enjoy where we are right now that'll get you to that boom. But if you consistently concentrate and trying to get to that, it doesn't ruin the experience, but you're not doing the experience the justice. And that's what I like about 69. And I like just it's a battle. You know what I'm saying? It's a
I
battle.
love how
I
you
love it.
explain that though. That's such like sexual maturity because that's not how we come out of the gate like teenagers, young adults focused on it. It's
Yeah.
always our own big bang that we look for. And I think women don't really realize sometimes how much pleasure and pride men take in getting us off. And we kind of go about it in a backwards way that we cock block ourselves right off the hop from
Mhm.
having that experience. And then we have to train or untrain ourselves to just be in the moment,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is ironic because what other aspect of life is like that, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're driving a car, you kind of need to be in the moment. There's no time for this afterthought, right?
Right.
And in sex, we almost like cut ourselves off at the nose before we even get there. And undoing that behavior, unlearning those things is so difficult. It's kind of like unlearning regular traumas too. If you've been in a 12-year marriage where you had to fake it all the time, nobody cared. It'll be weird to be with someone the first time that is like, no, this is about you. Like I want you to go twice before I'm even going to think about it. That would be
Mm-hmm.
almost a foreign language to that woman. And
Mm-hmm.
it's sad. It's unfortunate. The a good life should be filled with orgasms. It should be pleasureful instead of this like battle kind of back and forth. Although a bad 69 is definitely a battle.
Yeah, it is. It is.
A bad 69 could kill somebody.
I will say this. I think men, I don't think that either women or men, people with penises, whatever it may be, really have the education about how much that blood rushing to your scrotum and to your dick controls your urgency. It is an
Hmm.
urgency to get in some pussy or butthole or mouth. I need to relieve this full ass feeling that is like concentrated right here. Now, I don't know if women get that, right? I don't know if women get, I know when you guys, the blood flows down and the clit kind of swells up. I don't know, does it turn into like a blue balls type of feeling? Because for men,
So,
having that feeling is that's why we stop eating and we jump right into pussy. That's why guys is always trying to like get that because it's an overload of blood rushing into that part of your body where you have
Hmm.
to engage. You have to do something with it. You know what I'm saying? So the reason I'm bringing that up is because you have to realize how to fight that as a person with
Mm.
a penis. You have to realize how to fight that. And once you get that under control, it can really extend the experience for everybody. But if you just go by what your body is telling you to do, right? Science or whatever you believe in, God, whatever you believe in, has put this you here to get rid of that feeling so that you could procreate. But that
yeah.
shortens
Mm.
the experience for everybody. It shortens the experience for everybody. So
That's beautiful.
once I learned how to control that and kind of like I do clenches, I do Kegels, and you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Kegels.
Sometimes I'll just squeeze the balls, or I'll just slap my shit. Like I'll just, you know what I mean? Because thank God, even at my age, the blood flow is still working well. Um, get that under control, and I'm able to, I mean, it gets a little drippy.
That's some mental training though. Some
I
It
training.
love
is.
it. It is. Oh, it's a mind
Yeah,
over matter thing. It's
it
practice.
is. It is.
We just did an episode not long ago, actually, about all of those techniques to prolong orgasm for men and stay in that almost zone, that edging
Yeah.
zone that's really sweet. And there's tons of men. I mean, we meet clients that are, I don't know, 20 something, and they're like, oh, I've been doing that forever, heard about it on YouTube. And then there's 65-year-old men that are like, what? My penis can do that? And I'm like, how have you lived your whole life?
Yeah.
You didn't play because like I
Mhm.
wouldn't stop playing if I had a dick. That's all I would want to do. I
Yeah.
would welcome the control factor, let it take over my whole life. I'd end up in prison probably, but in general, like the urge is still there for women, but I don't think it's this like quest to completion the same way. Like
Right.
Mm.
I hated having a day at work when I was a massage attendant where it was just foreplay all day long. Like people are touching you, whether you like the client or not, and if you have to fake your orgasms, which you do as a pro a lot, to not come once in a day where I had like 8 clients, yeah, my pussy hurts when I get home. And it's not a
Wow.
happy pussy. It's not because I
Wow.
fucked. It's that I didn't get to bust a nut. And that
Oh.
sucks. But it's also not going to make me like bump into walls or
Mm.
yell at my partner when I get home or like just be so discombobulated that I can't go
Yeah.
about the rest
Yeah.
of my day. Like it is different than men
I
in
think
that
it's a
regard, but
difference.
you feel the pulsing, you feel the like the swelling of things that did not have that climactic release to go back into its original form. Like it's kind of walking around with a chubby the whole time. Like you're just like,
And I think
it's
that
there,
That's right, though.
it's
I feel that.
pressing. Yeah,
I
It's a
think
good
the
that
car
that
ride
also
almost bumpy.
I think that that also speaks to how men have sex, because
Hmm.
you get if you ladies, you guys may be able to speak to this experience, how guys are like banging away, and it's because he's rushing to get that release. He is,
Hmm.
even in that, he's still trying to satisfy, to get rid of that blood that's in his scrotum. That he's just trying to rush to get that shit going. But once he lets that feeling go away, takes control of that feeling, he's able to take his time more because he's not trying to ejaculate. So this
Right.
goes
Yeah.
to everything with the patience, with the way he's having sex with you. You know what I'm saying? Like men
Hmm.
need to really start to do the knowledge of what's happening with their bodies and the why they're doing things. Once you know the why, you can
Why?
then you can kind of figure out how to, manage that. But I don't think that we do that much thinking
That's true.
about that.
I'm a firm believer that the elimination of proper sex education in schools is the root of a lot of those problems. Because if you don't even know what the parts are or how they function, you're not going to get to the point of asking inquisitive questions like why. And if you don't
Hmm.
ask why, you don't learn how. And so, like, it kind of cuts that all off. And people are
Hmm.
almost stumbling around kind of blind, just trying to figure it out and just fuck a
Hmm.
hole or bust their nut. And it's sad that it's not till later in life that we kind of are like, whoa, wait a minute, there's more to
Hmm.
this.
Hmm.
Why am I only learning this at 37? Like this makes no
Hmm.
sense.
Exactly.
And I think
Exactly.
if we had that proper basis of education, we'd be more inquisitive in a responsible manner, especially when you're young, and be able to get to those points of, oh, I may be interested in this, or I just learned this new trick that my pussy does. Like these
Hmm.
things are important to learn. But if you don't
Hmm.
even know, like there are women out there that are moms of many children, they've had hysterectomies or like actual processes and still don't know the parts of their own vagina.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so if we're not taught those proper things, and men included, and vice versa, learning about the opposite sex body parts and how they function, then how can we get to the playful stuff? How can we even understand that, multiple orgasms for men without ejaculation is even possible?
Right.
That's such an outlandish thought when you don't even know what morning wood is, like
Right.
you have
Right.
to connect those pieces together. I
Right.
think
Right.
education's a big
I
important
agree.
piece,
I agree.
in my
I
opinion.
agree.
So,
So,
on that note, I'm going to pick your brain about massages because I think one of the appeals to our industry is it takes away that rush of time capacity to get to the nut. And yet they know at the end it's a rub and tug. The point is the happy ending. That's why it's called happy ending parlor, whatever you like to call it.
Hmm.
But it forces almost the client to prolong that foreplay or to enjoy that attention and the slower pace of things. And I never want to knock on escorts and butt them down a little bit, but you kind of know how that's going to end, right? There's no like surprise, we're gonna
Hmm.
fuck. Like
Hmm.
that's why you showed up
You go
and
right
handed her
ahead.
some cash, right?
Hmm.
So with massage parlors, I find the client is always holds a little secret hope that he's going to be the one client she's just dying to fuck. And but at the same time, that's why there's so much focus
Housekeeping.
on the foreplay and things that like the wife's not doing at home. The wife's not looking on nipples and tickling his balls and wondering what his taint is up to or figuring out how to
Hmm.
like milk his prostate without putting something up his butt. Like good wives will, but we know the odds of
Wait, you can
that,
milk a
right?
prostate without putting something up his butt?
mhm.
Yes, you can.
What?
Yes.
How
You can
can
milk a
somebody teach
prostate
her?
both internally and externally through the taint.
What's the tank? Oh, the gooch.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Just the tip. Guys, this is our new segment on Muse on the Mic where I'm going to jump in and give you some sort of quick sex tip, industry tip. It's my tip for you. So today we're going to talk about anal stretching or anal sex, anal play, really.
If this tip isn't enough, subscribe to Patreon for the whole thing.
So
Yeah.
this is a problem that I have with a lot of ladies, and it isn't, I'm not talking down on y'all, it's just my experience. Y'all don't, a lot of women don't know how to play with that area.
Mm,
Like,
very,
especially
very true.
if they're into fingers, they're just like, well, this is how you do me.
Hmm.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, That don't really feel dope. I don't know if that's how it feels when I do you,
That's
but
not it.
point
Yeah.
taken. Point taken. Can you stop? That's not it. You know what I mean? So there definitely needs to be a finger lesson. Somebody needs to teach that and get it out there into the world so that men can actually receive pleasure from that stuff, because a lot of it is just very invasive. It's like,
Yeah, I
all
bet.
You
right,
should come to one of our workshops.
I
But
would
that's why
love to.
education is so important, and communicating. I mean, you should
Yeah.
be telling the girl, whoa, 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 that
Yeah,
doesn't feel good. Pull up more, or go slower.
yeah,
Communication and education. We talk about it all the time, but it really is the key to like great sex.
yeah, yeah. I
That's
don't think
true
that a lot
because
of
we hate
men,
being poorly figured. So why would he like it?
Mhm.
but I think it's kind of different because I think that a woman can direct you towards her pleasure. She
Mm,
can say, but a lot of heterosexual men, not we're especially here in America, we're scared of anything anal. Anything anal when it comes to a man
yes.
is gay. And that now puts you on a whole different category of man. And
Mhm.
it's a weapon that the world uses against you. So we don't want to go nowhere near that. Right. And then once you do allow somebody to do it, you don't have no education as to be able to say, hey, go this way or go that way. Right.
Right.
It's it's something that they've said that they want to try. You've said, all right, cool, whatever. But I don't know how to say, hey, go down up. Where's the prostate? Go over here, because it's very foreign to me. You know what I'm
For
saying? You
sure.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
100%.
but you
there's
should
a
also
learning
be
curve.
exploring your own body too. And I think as females, we talk about that more openly, in masturbation, to try different things and what works and what doesn't, and knowing yourself. But guys can do that too. You can find your prostate all on your own.
It's
So
all
I
to show and
found this
tell.
toy.
I
Let me
knew
see
it.
if I get this toy to work. Yeah.
I
I
enjoy your
found this
show and
toy,
tells. Ooh.
and I was thinking,
Ooh,
what
he's
if I put that
fancy.
in there? You know what I mean? I was thinking, what if I put that in there, man? That while I like jerk off or while I have sex. What if I put this in there while I have sex? Did y'all hear about the prostate massager that I have?
No.
No, but we might know of it. Which one?
I don't know, but it's like a I don't know, it's a
The
thing.
curved one? Yeah.
And
See, the good thing about that is it can be used internal or external.
oh, it can be external too.
Hmm. I
So
mean, you
yeah,
could
the
put
one I
the one
had,
end in your butt if you want, or you can
yeah,
just use the end of it as pressure. Basically, if the gooch is here, the prostate is right on top, right? So when you go
mhm,
up the butt, you're pushing on it from this side. But if you press on your gooch this way, I wouldn't with long nails, I'd use the flat of my finger. You can stimulate it from under the gooch and you're hitting the bottom of the prostate.
mhm.
And so the curve of those toys are great because you can do it yourself and crick it up to put pressure on that spot behind your balls. Try
Y'all
it.
are turning me off. The reason y'all turning me off is because it sounds like y'all know what y'all doing. It
We
sounds like
teach these
I want to
things.
have
That's
that
your family.
experience with somebody that knows what they're doing. I do. I do. I want y'all to teach my fiance, like, yo, here, this is how you
I'm
do it. I need to
happy
go to
to.
prostate massage
Providers
But we
know a
do
lot
class.
of things.
we do a lot of
Yeah.
prostate massages at the spa too. Like it's
Yeah.
a service that clients request a lot.
Yeah.
And it's because it's in private that they're comfortable to ask because it's the same little bit of homophobia here, not as much, but a little
Mhm.
bit with that tone. It's often nerve-wracking for a guy to ask the first time, going, "Hey, how about my butt?" It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like, how do you pitch that? Go, what
Right.
about the other hole? Like, what do you say? Especially if it's a hot girl. I mean, you're a middle-aged client, hot 21-year-old, like butt naked all over you, Nuru, the whole slippy slidey thing, and you're like, hey, can you put a finger in my ass? Like, how do you say that?
Yeah, but this is why we
So
we
we come up with different
specifically
language.
name our sessions. So the prostate massage is known as the backstage pass. So it becomes comfortable. It's comfortable language that the gentleman can ask. Can I have a
Mhm.
45-minute session with a backstage pass? And that way
Mhm.
everyone's on the same page. He knows what he's in
Mhm.
for. She knows what her
Mhm.
job is. And there's no awkwardness. It just makes it so simple.
Can y'all talk to somebody in Canada and get me a pass? I'm a felon, so I can't really come to Canada. But I want to
We'll
have this
figure it out.
experience. Do I have to swim? Like, what do I need to do to get over there? Like, oh
We would
my
love to have
God.
you.
We would
Yo,
love to have you. I can talk to an
Um,
immigration lawyer too. I know a few.
yeah, I gotta figure that out. It's shit. I haven't been in trouble
Yeah.
in 20 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I haven't
But
been in
what is
trouble.
the sex industry in New York or the States, and how is it different? Because from what I understand, there's a lot more escorts. There's not a lot of massage parlors or people doing what we do in Canada. Is it a lot of just full service escort activity?
Um, okay. The way I would look at it is if you know, you know. Uh,
Mm,
but it's also very taboo. It does not sound like it's as taboo in Canada or in Toronto as it is here. COVID and sex work, COVID changed the way people look at sex work a lot, a lot.
yep.
Just if you think about it, just before COVID, you had Amber Rose doing the slut walk, right? You had like
Hmm.
people fighting for like, hey, I'm a human being. Just because I'm doing this doesn't make me that. But then after COVID, everybody was so horny, and everybody, as a lot of people became sex workers because their jobs wasn't, jobs were closed, and it just became a lot more quote unquote normalized. Um,
Hmm.
I threw my first, maybe my second play party, and you had regular dudes in there that they would have never.
I
You
love
had
that.
regular women. I had Charlotte, I don't want to say, but I had a lot of people that you wouldn't think were in there, right? And it
Yep.
was just normal. They were just watching us have sex, right? But so it's become a lot more normalized. That being said, I don't think the confidence is there for a man to say, hey, this is what I want to experience. This
Mm,
as far as hiring a sex worker. Or like, I think that, like I said, if you know, you know, but it's still very taboo. And it's still very like, do I want to, I know what's behind that door, but somebody's going to see me walk
Right.
in there.
yeah.
It's like, damn, what kind of day is, can I get in there and get out without anybody knowing? Versus people saying like, yo, I'm about to go over here. You know what I
Right.
mean? And just
We have
being
a bit
very
of
like,
both
yo, that's what I'm
too.
doing.
We definitely have people that, use fake names and are incognito and are sneaking
Yeah.
away from the job, the wife, or, not
Yeah.
sharing with their buddies. But there's certainly guys that do share. I mean, a lot of our
Hmm.
clients, management tells us, how did they hear about Muse? Most are from friends. So it is,
Mhm.
shared information. I think
Yeah.
it's really liberal. It's really cool.
Well, I had a
It is
listener
really
that
liberal. We're definitely
I had a listen.
much more progressive up here. And y'all are
Um,
going a little backwards down south. But I
yeah,
mean, there's a difference. I'm not sure. Are there like rub and tugs in New York? Because I mean,
th
I know there's plenty in like Miami, all over
no,
Nevada.
that well,
None, eh?
I wouldn't say none, but very, there are a lot of Asian ones. I wouldn't even say a
Mm,
lot of. They're
a few.
sporadic, but mostly are Asian. Uh, it's a very taboo subject. It's a very, very, very
Mm,
taboo subject.
it's
And
unfortunate.
looked at as unsafe. They do
Mm,
also do raids. They're all
mhm.
illegal. So I remember hearing the story
Interesting.
of some guys that were in one and it got raided,
Hmm.
so you have that. So it's like I said, it's extremely taboo. And I honestly, so much that I don't even have the knowledge to be able to give you as much information as I would want to in the conversation,
Sure.
Right.
right?
That makes
It's just
sense,
because
though. I mean, if it's high
yeah,
risk, no, nobody's
yeah.
really going to be spreading that information around. I mean, it's been a long time since in this city that there's been those kind of raids. I mean, you'd have to be doing something really, really wrong in a
Hmm.
completely unlicensed spot. But we're also zoned particularly, so we're not near like a mall or a school or
Sure.
residential. We have to be in like commercial areas. But we're also really high end. Like if you walk into Muse, it's like five-star spa, spectacular.
Mm.
We
Dope.
plug a lot of money. We're in the midst of renos right now too. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars to build a nice, gorgeous, high-end spa so that clients do feel comfortable referring each other. And we
Mm.
host like private events, we do bachelor parties, we do all kinds of stuff so that they can feel comfortable referring their business associates after they're golfing to swing by the parlor, similar to how guys would socialize at a strip club, minus we don't have alcohol. strip clubs would hate
Mm.
us if we had alcohol. We
Mhm.
already have happy
For
endings.
real.
I need the fucking
For real.
alcohol. But
What?
it makes it socially acceptable, especially when it's a high end place, because
Yeah.
it reads different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
But it's
nice.
also culture. It's also the culture
Yeah.
that you guys have a culture of that. And we just lack that here. And that powers that be don't in New York, you can't even be naked as a stripper. As a
Hmm.
dancer, you cannot take off
Wow.
your clothes, you know?
Wow.
So yeah, I'm used to be going to Miami
So much
or
of a strip.
Atlanta. Right. This like, what are you taking off?
And
Your
what's the
hair?
pussy? Why am I here?
Yeah, like
We
what
come
else
here
is
for
there, you
bikinis
know?
and the panties. That sucks.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, every once in a while they like sneak a titty out, like, hey,
Right.
but
Oh, you're not
it
even
isn't like,
topless?
um,
I thought it was just topless in the
it
States.
may be topless. Yes, it may be topless. But
Okay.
even so, it's like, yo, I came to see some work, you know,
Right.
and it's not working. This
Hmm.
isn't working.
Interesting.
Jersey, I think you can be more fully, definitely Miami, definitely Atlanta, but New York is just very
Yeah.
strict. Yeah, so it's
Okay.
It's so
unfortunate.
interesting how it like goes around metropolitan cities like that.
Yeah,
Well,
Interesting.
I've got a question for you, Tahoe,
yeah.
because we
Oh,
love your show. And I think it's pretty racy and it's pretty out there. But then when we were watching yesterday, I noticed you guys went to Patreon for 106 in Dark.
Yeah.
And I've never so badly wanted to be like, I have to go there right now. Like, what is it that you guys do over there? Give me like a
yeah.
behind the scenes, a taste of what
Pitch the
happens, because
Patreon.
I feel like your regular show is hot enough that I can't even
Mhm.
imagine.
So 106 in Dark is I find different genres of porn or different, you know,
Okay.
and we watch those, we rate the different videos that I might pull up, right?
You Yelp porno. I love it.
And yo, the collection of porn that I have in my phone is crazy. We've done cock and ball torture. We've done there was a guy skydiving naked. There was a couple that was mountain climbing and they stopped in the middle of mountain climbing and they started eating pussy and sucking dick eh,
Wow.
while on the ropes. While on the
That's
ropes, swinging
terrifying.
around, they're doing that. And so, you know, I've got dudes with dicks that are like curved this way and he's trying to put it in the box. So I found like some really crazy clips. This week, next week, we're doing best sex positions. So I found
Ooh,
a bunch of positions where you got this one guy is his girl's leg is on his shoulder and he got her in the shower fucking her. She's one leg on the floor, her other leg is
wow.
up and he's fucking her like that. That's one of the positions. And so, you know, it's things like that. So we watch those and we rate them. You know, Looney's
Interesting.
crazy, Melly's crazy. We now have Courtney as who's our new co-host. And you know, we make a little segment out of that, but we can't. So my experience was that on the pod, just hearing us talk about it without being able to see the clips,
Mhm.
it would disconnect people from the audio. So what we did was we put it onto the Patreon
Patreon.
so that you
Beautiful.
could actually see the clips and you could actually see the video, and it just not be an audio thing. So
I love
yeah,
it.
We're gonna have to
yeah.
subscribe, Riley, because that
Yeah.
sounds really
I
hot.
would I would love to have y'all in the Heart of Soft community. That would be amazing.
That would be wicked.
Awesome.
Well, I want to watch your massage video where you talk about massages because I
Yeah.
feel like not that women don't love massages, but we definitely take something different from it. It's for sure. And I think there has to be a mood for us if the massage is going to get sexual, or we're just annoyed going, okay, you rub my shoulders for 2 minutes. Why is now your dick poking my ass? And it
Mm-hmm.
gets a little different. Y'all love
Mm-hmm.
the TLC and the tenderness. But
Mm-hmm.
it was one of your videos actually, I think it was like a day or two after we originally spoke. That I was like, the algorithm is algorithming because it showed me the right clip at the right time. And I was like, what are the odds?
Oh, I
But
want to hear
it
this.
was beautiful the way you explained massage. So I
Yeah.
want to watch the clip so we could show the people. And then let's
Okay.
talk about it on the back end.
A good rub down. I'm talking about the oil. I don't know many times when a woman has took the baby oil, poured it all over me. Like women suck your dick, but they give you a massage. But to actually oil you all the way down, take care of you all the way. I'm talking about ankles, feet, legs, calves, your butt. Yeah, I want all of that. I want the whole rub down experience. And then I want you to have the oil on yourself. Massage me with your body. Give me a neural massage.
Oh, I haven't done
Up
that,
and
though.
down on my body. Don't necessarily, you ain't got to put me in your mouth yet. I want to feel you all over me. I want to feel like we gliding. I want to feel that attention, that body heat, that pressure. You know what I'm saying? And then at a certain
Makes me
point,
wanna have
and I
sex.
want you, once you do start putting me in your mouth, I want you to grab me like under the nuts, grab the shaft. I want you all of that. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be massaging the shit out my soul.
I wouldn't even make it to sex, to be honest.
You know what I'm saying? That's a horny nigga right there.
That clip is an advertisement for our industry, top tier.
Yeah, man.
I love it.
I love
Yeah,
it.
man.
Talk to us. Tell us about it.
Well, there's something about worship.
Mm.
And not everybody understands the concept of that. It sounds demeaning. And I'm trying to make sure that I explain so that it doesn't feel that way. But when I say you taking my toes and you spending the time on those toes and you're going in between, right? You got 10 of those. You're literally at the very bottom of my body. So if somebody was to take the actual time to spend all of that time, because from there you got to go to the base, you get the ankle, you're getting the leg, you're up and down, you're giving each and every part of this person's body your time and your care. You're making sure you have enough oil, massage oil. You're using your body. I had a neural massage before. That was one of the best massages I've ever had in my life. It was one of the best
Yay!
massages I've ever had in my life. Fortunately, she was attracted to me and we wound up having sex. I didn't know that was part of the
It
game. I
happens.
thought I was just hiring a masseuse, but thank God. But yeah, I think a lot of times people get tired. It's not their thing. They're doing you a favor. You know what I'm saying? It's a gateway to sex. So, people are just really trying to get to the sex part. But when somebody is taking that time to worship your body, to actually give every single part of your body pleasure with time, because that's not something that you could do that's something that it's going to take some time to do
Yep.
all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's sometimes some parts of your body need both hands. You can't be on my legs like this. No, I need
Right.
both on that one leg, and then you taking that, you know what I mean? And you doing everything. You need to understand blood flow, right? I want you to be pushing in a certain direction. Like there's a when somebody knows what they're doing with that, it is not only the most relaxing, it can be one of the most intimate experiences ever. And it's because of the time. It's
Love it.
because of the amount of care they're giving your body, right? It isn't a chore. This is you showing appreciation through it's
Yay.
I love that description.
I
sorry.
love
It
this.
just
If we ever do a TV commercial, you're hired. Because that's
Lord.
exactly it. That's exactly it. It's so detailed. You had me at toes because I get horny in a pedicure. I get shifty. She laughs at me. She's like, "Can we just hurry this up?" I'm like, "Shh, give me a minute." Almost there. Leave me alone. But I
Man.
think the intimate is the
I'm
perfect
drained
word
just talking
because
about
it's
it.
not just sensual. It's intimate, it's tenderness, it's the like devoted attention. And I think that's what leads to what Loon said in that little clip about you don't even need to get to the sex in a situation like that because it's so sensory overload, like top to bottom. Everything should be tingling, everything should be warmed up, everything has been tender, loving, cared for. That by the time you get to the penis, easy peasy. But
Easy.
equally, a great hand job should be a good dick massage just as much.
Yeah. And I
It's
don't
the
think that
details.
most women take that much time. In my experience, that's why I said focusing on that under dick area, under the nutsack
Mm.
area. There's
We
a
call that the
whole,
reach under.
yeah, get under there,
That's a
hold them
move in our
balls
industry.
up. Yeah, like, yo, hold them balls up and then go up on the shaft. Like there's a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot of dick under there that God it's the root. I need you to massage the root
Yes.
of that motherfucker. You know what I'm
The
saying?
root.
And when somebody does take that time and they're intentional about it, right? It's not like just a
Mm-hmm.
gloss over. I'm yours, at least for right
What does
now.
that do for your mental health?
Oh, you can orgasm in your brain.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
I can have a brain gasm.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And it's just very relaxing. You feel very taken care of. You
Mhm.
feel
Mm,
very cared
yes.
for. You know what I'm saying? So I can imagine why, if your parlor is what I'm imagining it to be, why people come back over and over and over again. Because the people who at home a lot of times they, they don't have that type of intent.
No.
Hmm.
A lot of times
Sad,
they're
right?
just not. And I mean, for a long time I didn't know how to give massages. So when
Mm.
somebody tried to get me to give them a massage, I'd be like,
Squish, squish,
Right.
booty rub.
yeah, like, that's not, but now after having certain massages and certain experiences, I'm putting my body into it. I'm being a lot more like grindy with it. You know what I mean? I've paid attention. I watched enough massage videos where I understand that one
Arms,
over the arm
forearms.
feeling and actually putting some real pressure on a body and how it can be how it feels. So I just don't
Mm.
think a lot of people they don't realize that. They don't know what it is and they're scared. Or again, they're just paying attention to that bulging rush of blood that's going to the scrotum. And
Mhm.
that's just really what this is. I just need to get you a little turned on so I can get inside you. Because
Right.
another thing is, oh God, am I talking too much?
No, I
No.
love it.
I don't know how much men realize how much pleasure women can derive. I think we're so stuck on our dicks. We're so stuck on what our dicks do. And it's because y'all give us the verbal reaction, right?
Right.
We see the pain in your face. We see it we hear it when you respond to it. But
Yes.
there are pleasure centers all over a woman's body, all over a woman's body. And I don't think that because we don't get so much of a return from those things that we realize how much of a
Mm.
start, we don't get that from the massage. You're laying there like, mm. But shit, once you give me that, I want to hear that. Ah! So yeah, I'm like,
Right.
yo, you're there. All right, I'm getting your dick now. But there's like so much more that you can do. So yeah, it's just a lot of education. That's why I do my show. I'm really excited about this show. I'm happy.
I love it. I love what you're doing for educating men specifically. Not that women
Yeah.
don't have a lot to learn, but you're right. Men don't talk about it, and the more safe spaces they have to do so, the better. I
Yeah.
mean, we get as owners, we get confided in by even the things that the clients are comfortable telling their favorite muse about. And when people are
Mhm.
stripped down in a private room together, those conversations get pretty damn candid, right? Like
Yeah.
men will confess a lot of things that the wife has never known, their buddies don't know, their work friends don't know, the basketball team, the golf guys, they don't talk about any of that shit. But when
Mhm.
they're not even comfortable talking to her about that stuff, they slide in our DMs or email us directly and confide some of those extra things. And a lot of those confessions end up about how they're treated at home and
Right.
Mhm.
the contrast of the way they feel when they come to Muse and how it
Mhm.
helps them in their regular life. They're able to go out and be better husbands or just get through the week going through the motions because they've been attended to with
Mhm.
that intimacy for a good 90 minutes every Thursday with a gorgeous babe that they've been seeing for a
Mhm.
regular amount of time and it just snowballs from there.
Mhm.
And I think it's community service that we do. I
Mhm.
think it's beautiful. I think there's a reason why people pay for it. I think there's a reason why people want it aside from a marriage and why it's easier than a side chick or a work affair. Office affairs always end up messy. So
Mhm.
Right.
it's so much easier on a lunch break to just pop in.
Mhm.
It's pretty cool.
Mhm. It
I
sounds
love it.
amazing. I'm so
I love
jealous of
it.
everybody up there in Canada. Everybody in Toronto that can go to your shops is, oh man, I wish that was here. I really do.
I love it.
I wish he could come. I know he mentioned it's not possible,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
is that
I don't
permanently or
know.
that's just for a period of time?
Um, From what I've heard, it was a permanent thing. I don't know. I'm gonna try because I always wanted to come back to Canada. I came to Canada when I was young. I did a canoe trip, but I've never
Okay.
actually explored the cities. I've never been there. It's like one of the places that I really would want to go. I've gone to most of the states in America that I've wanted to be in, a lot of countries that I've wanted to go to, but I've never been to Canada as an adult. So
Okay.
I'm excited
Amazing.
to
We'll have to
see if that
find a
can
way.
happen.
Sure,
Hmm.
there's a work permit somewhere we can figure out.
Yeah, right. Maybe.
If anyone can make it happen, Emily will.
It's a fact.
Please,
It's
Emily,
a
and
fact.
at your behest, please.
Listen, there's a lot of clients that owe me favors.
Right?
Get to call those in
Come on.
sometimes.
Exactly. Calling the political favor. Exactly.
It's a
Yes.
vast network. We keep a lot of
Yes.
politicians' secrets.
Really?
We
I
keep a
bet.
lot of all kinds of people's secrets. It's part
I
of
bet.
the
I
code
bet.
of conduct, right? No one speaks about Fight
Yeah.
Club. It's a real thing.
All
I
right.
love it. So I have one more question for you, actually, that's a bit on the theme of hard or soft, because I
Yes.
love how you guys talk about what made you hard one week and what made you soft another week or
Mm-hmm.
throughout a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to flip the script on it a little bit, though, and ask specifically about sex work. What would you pay for and what wouldn't you pay for? What would be a turn on to pay for and what would be a turn off to pay for, in your opinion?
What would be a turn on to pay for? I would say multiple women running
Ooh,
a train on me, possibly tying me up and just doing what they want. I'm not really into degradation. So like
right.
don't kick me in my nuts, don't call me a piece of shit. But
Right.
fuck, sit on my face, another person sit on my face while somebody's sucking my dick. Fuck me, shit, put your finger in my ass, eat my ass, do what you want. Do what you want. You know what I'm saying? Talk
Okay.
crazy to me, put your hands all over my chest, talk to me crazy while somebody's riding me. You know what I mean? Like,
Love it.
shit, make two people sit on my fingers. Like, just, I'd hire 10 and y'all just have y'all way. Just go off.
Just a
Go the
plate
fuck
spinner
off.
out there.
Yeah, just go the fuck off.
I
I
love it.
had it. I had something like that for my birthday where it was like a gang of women that just really like went off on me, but they sex didn't happen at that moment. Uh, but
Okay.
yeah, I would love to have a train ran on me by a bunch of women for
I
sure.
love that. That's a bucket list.
Right.
Really,
So what wouldn't you pay for?
what I wouldn't pay for a life companion. I wouldn't pay for
Ooh,
love,
Good
right?
answer.
I wouldn't pay for the uh veil of love and care, right? I need it to be real. I need a real connection. So I don't know if that's what Hugh Hefner had or what, a lot of guys they have somebody, the sugar baby
Right.
mm.
type of thing, right? Where she don't really care for you, but you'll pay for her and things like that. And I don't know if that falls into sex work. I don't know if that falls in there, but that's
I think it does.
probably the
I think it
only
does. I
thing that
think
I could
a sugar
say.
baby is a sex worker. They don't like hearing that. Listen, there's OnlyFans girls that don't like being told that they're sex workers too.
Yeah,
The sugar
they
babies
are.
get upset about it. But if you
Yeah,
ask
it's crazy.
me, it's time and companionship for money. That is sex work.
Right. I would think
I
so.
mean,
I would think so.
right there,
Especially if
right?
the person's getting off on this. So yeah, that's the
Right.
one thing I wouldn't want to pay for is the veil of love or companionship. Anything sexual, shit. I don't I'm with it. Like
I
as long
love
as it's
it.
safe.
I
I
like that.
really enjoy that about you. I love the open-mindedness to sex work. Not everybody has that opinion. And it's
Yeah.
awesome to talk to people that do because I've
Yeah.
noticed from your show, a lot of people that you have had on and guests are,
Oh my
were,
God.
or will be one day part of the industry in some like
Hmm.
form or fashion.
Hmm.
And that just shows your open-mindedness. And that
Yeah.
shows everything from a moral openness to a political one. And I think that's fantastic. We need more people like you in the world.
Thank you.
I
I
agree.
just did a Patreon episode. We now have a new Patreon segment called Sexplorations.
Okay.
And
Ooh.
we had Hope Giselle, who is a transsexual, and we spoke to her about the differences that having sex as a man versus having sex as a woman, and what
Mm.
she misses now that she has a full vagina and doesn't have a penis. What do you think she misses? What's something that you think that she would miss?
I'd say like
The
the
first time
insertion.
she puts it in.
Well, she said she missed getting her
Sorry.
dick sucked.
Ah, makes sense. Yeah.
I was
Really?
like, yo, she was like, yo, I remember the night before my surgery and I got some head. And I was like, yo, that's the last time I'm gonna get my dick sucked. Oh my God.
Ooh, that's a big decision. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
isn't it?
surgery's a big decision, but letting go of
Yeah.
blowjobs, that's a big
Yeah.
decision.
Because I think that's what a lot
Mm.
of women say they would want if they had a penis. It's like, I
Yeah.
want
Mhm.
to see what it's like to get my dick sucked.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
Suck my dick, let me
yeah.
jizz on your face. That's
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I found myself in a space where I'm just really open and I don't, I
that's
accept people for who they
fascinating.
are. You know what I mean? I don't, it's not
I
my
love
business.
that.
And even more not my business. It's like, yo, I like love and I don't get into that
Mm,
whack shit, hating and that's corny to me. Let people be them. I don't give a fuck about
I
Like
agree.
Emily said, we love how open you are, and I think your show, is so amazing in helping men just feel comfortable in being a man. And
it.
I applaud you. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much.
Y'all
Emily,
are very
Riley.
underrated, all
Thank
of you.
you.
And it's a
Thank you.
beautiful thing you're doing.
Thank you very much, man. Well, we
We're big
working
fans.
hard. Hopefully we'll get to, big one day. But for now, we're just happy
Yay.
being us. Like it's very exciting journey.
I'll keep on doing it all. And we'll try to figure out a way to get to you or you to us one of these days for
Yes,
sure.
please. We'd love to have y'all on the show. Maybe y'all could come give a new massage or maybe bring somebody that does it. I don't know if you guys actually work it
Absolutely.
yourselves, but do that. And I'd love to have that experience.
That would be awesome.
Thank you for being our first guest.
Yeah.
Yes, thank
We're
y'all
not
so
virgins
much.
anymore.
Yeah,
I think right,
yeah,
and a threesome is dope for the first. Like that's a
right.
first. That's great. I hope that I live up to your expectations, and I hope all of your guests going forward exceed them. So you guys are an amazing duo.
Aw, I love
And
that.
shout out
Thank you.
to the Muse on the Mic team as well. Thank y'all so much, and we'll see each other. Hopefully, we cross paths one day.
We
Absolutely.
will soon. Thank
Thanks,
you, sir.
Sal.
All right. Take care,
Have a good
y'all.
one. Mwah.
All right.
That was a really great conversation. I'm so excited. We finally had our first guest on the show.
That was so much fun. I love the dynamic difference when we bring other people in. What an interesting conversation. I know we're hot and bothered by all of that juiciness here. I think the moral of the lesson is get a massage, go to your local parlor like today, come to Muse if you're local for us in Toronto, and definitely have more chats with guys about what they like, what they don't like, what sex is like on their side of things. I think men need to talk about it more.
Absolutely. And make
I love
sure
it.
you like, subscribe, follow on the Patreon, turn your notifications on YouTube, and continue watching Muse on the Mic.
Absolutely. We'll see you next time, guys.